What's going on, guys? Jamie Link here, and today we're talking about commercial drone photography. So one of the areas I focus on in my business is commercial drone photography. I'm a Part 107 certified drone pilot. I shoot video, I shoot stills, I've worked in projects for like PBS. I've shot, commercial real estate. I've shot private, residential real estate. So it's really a nice addition to my business to be able to, say to my clients, hey, I can photograph things and shoot video of things, not only on land, but in the air. Today we're doing a commercial real estate property. So this is a strip mall that is potentially up for sale, and my client wants to showcase not only the strip mall but the surrounding area. There's a train station over here to the northeast. There's some homes over here. There's a bunch of restaurants right around here as well, and the client wants to be able to see that, to show the prospective buyer of this property that, hey, there's all this other businesses going on around here. Put the drone in the air. I'm going to take, we're only doing stills today. We're not doing video. So I'm going to take the drone. We're going to do a bunch of low level stills to capture all the stores in this storefront. And then I'm going to work my way higher towards, the maximum flight ceiling here, which is 400 feet. You can't fly above 400 feet for this type of work, or any kind of work, unless you have, special permission from the FAA. So let's get out the drone and, shoot this property. So I have this backpack that I like to keep in my passenger seat, and it holds my drone when I'm traveling from point A to point B. And then I also have a car charger that I keep batteries attached to that will charge all my batteries. It's only 20 degrees outside, so you don't get a lot of batteries. You don't get a lot of time. I don't like to, when it's this cold, I don't like to keep the drone in the air when the batteries pass like only 40% left. I'd rather just land, pop in a new battery if I have to, and then fly again, because if the battery dies, if it gets too cold, whatever, your drone falls out of the sky, and that's just not a good situation. So I'd rather have extra batteries and just be on the safe side than be trying to get every last little ounce out of every battery in these weather conditions. If it's summer, then I'm a little more like, I'll push it a little bit more, but in general, I'd rather land, pop in a new battery. That way you don't lose your bird. All right, so I use this Polar Pro gimbal guard because this stock gimbal guard that the Phantom comes with doesn't work with the Polar Pro filters. Today it's really, really sunny outside, and it's not the most ideal conditions, but these commercial clients, they really like for their properties to be shot when it's like super bright and sunny. It's not the most ideal for photography, but that's just how they like to show the property. So I don't argue with anybody anymore. I just give them what they want because it's generally the best thing to do. Since it's such a bright day today, and my priority is shooting stills, I normally wouldn't change the filter, but since we're gonna shoot some video today for this vlog, I'm gonna change the filter to 16. All right, so now that I got the drone all put together and I got the DJI Go 4 app pulled up, I have to do a compass calibrate. So anybody who's familiar with DJI drones will know what I'm about to do. So every time I do stills, I bracket all the images. That way I have extra images in post. So if something's a little bit overexposed or whatever, I have that detail to pull. I have a 128 gigabyte memory card in this thing, so I have plenty of space to take as many pictures as I want. The only penalty is it takes me longer to go through everything. Let's get the drone in the air, and I'm gonna get in the car because it's absolutely freezing out here. So it's a little windy, As you can see, it's not like super crazy, but there is a little bit of wind, so I have to make sure that my shutter speed is set to where I'm not going to get any motion blur. It is really freaking cold, so let's go get in the car and fly around and we'll take the pictures. All right, cool. So one of the cool things about having this 360 top on the Jeep is I can watch the drone fly out the window, which is perfect. All right, so I've landed the drone right now. I don't know what's happening, but when I'm trying to take pictures, I'm getting this loop signal right here, and it won't actually, I don't know if the images are being recorded. So let's turn off the drone and fire it back up and see if we can get it fixed. So it is freezing outside.
SD card error. Please replace it.
Okay, so we're still having
SD card error. Please replace it.
my SD card is not working. So let me go take this thing out and try to reinsert it and see if that helps fix the problem. So this is a 128 gigabyte SD card. It looks to be okay. I'm gonna try to reinsert it and see if it works. If it still works. Maybe it will work now. So let's see what happens. All right, so this looks like it's good to go. It looks like taking the memory card out and reinserting it did the trick. Let's go get these shots. So we're here at location number 2, and since we already set up the drone at location number 1, we're pretty much ready to fly. I just got to grab my phone and pop it back in the holder, and we'll be good to fly. So let's hop outside and let's shoot some pictures of this unit. So again, you know, like I was saying before, having a drone really makes this kind of work. You know, it's easier for us photographers to give the clients what they want because we're able to offer, you know, big, huge views of the areas around these businesses. This is the strip mall right here. And so, you know, let's grab the drone out of the bag. I got my controller here. We'll turn this on so that's ready to go. And we'll turn on the drone. All right, so let's get the bird in the air. And so when I'm flying, let's get a good exposure here. So we get a good histogram. And then I like to use auto exposure bracketing just in case, you know, there's some highlights that I don't see or some shadows I need to recover. You know, the drone's in the air. We can see we got this going. The drone's right there. So we're gonna get in the car, and you know, that does two things. It's you know, 15 degrees out here, so it's cold. And it also helps it so that I'm not in the shots flying the drone. I can hide my car. I'm gonna start off, I usually get some basic, you know, close-ups of the front to show the businesses that are in this plaza. The clients usually like that. And I can already tell you now, we're gonna have to stop this in the middle. I should have just popped a new battery in, but what are you gonna do? So we'll get a couple shots of the front of the building like this. And you have to be really careful when you're doing these kinds of shots because you're gonna be low enough to hit, you know, any of the light poles in the parking lot, things like that. So you don't wanna hit those kind of things. You know, and I can see the drone right out the window here. It's kind of a little bit obstructed by the trees, but I'm watching it. And so now I'm just flying around the building. I'm gonna bring it up a little bit just to get a little more altitude, and we're gonna show down this road here to show that, you know, there isn't much around here as far as other shopping centers. And we'll go across the street here.
Low battery warning.
Yeah, so let's just, rather than mess around, it's really cold out, so let's bring the drone in. I've got another battery right here. So when I like to land my drones, I like to hand catch them. You know, surfaces can be uneven, there could be wind, there could be any number of reasons why your drone would hit the ground and bounce and kind of crash. There's a little bit of wind today, so today is definitely a day where I want to hand catch my drone. So I'm going to bring it around here, and I have to be a little careful because there's power lines. But I'm coming in, and when you're hand catching a drone, you just want to get it close and then let it hover and make sure that it's not going to get too close to you. So I'm going to bring the drone in, bring it in slow, and just bring it right down. You can hand catch it just like that. You know, now that the blades are stopped, I can turn this off, and I'm going to pop in this other battery. All right, so we got our first battery in the drone. Home points updated. Exposure's good. Let's go get the rest of these photos. So cool, let's we got everything that we need. Let's land the drone. Again, when you hand catch drones, you just want to bring it in. This is a horrible angle for me to be doing this because the drone is right in the sun. But you know, you can bring it in, bring it down to where a height that you can reach it, and then just walk over and grab it. And when you grab it, you make sure you hold down on the stick, so that way the drone stops. And you don't want to move. If you grab it and then you just keep walking, the drone's going to think it's still flying, so the props aren't going to stop. So when you walk up to it and grab it, you stay in the same spot, just like this. And see, that's a really nice way to be able to hand catch, you know, to be able to land your drone safely. It's safer for the drone, and as long as you do it right, it can be safe for you too. That's it for this location. Let's get in the car. We got 2 more spots to hit up. Oh no. Traffic. All right, cool. So we just got to the 3rd location for today. It's an Anytime Fitness. So that's the unit that we're going to be photographing. I don't know if it's the whole building, but I'm going to treat it like it's the whole building. So just because it's part of this thing anyway. So I'm going to hop out. I'll get some, you know, on the ground photos, and then we're going to put the drone in the air and we'll capture this building. So I just walked around and just shot a couple photos of the plaza with my camera, with my 5D Mark IV. So now we're gonna put the drone in the air and we will get the photos from the air. So we've had our batteries charging on the way over here. So I got one battery, two batteries now that are fully charged. I'm gonna plug in this one. This one will charge now and on the way to the next location. So now I'm good for the rest of the day because we only have one more location after this. So let me grab my phone and grab the drone. Always turn on the controller first. I just make a habit of it. Turn it on, we're good to go. All right, cool. So I'm glad we got that on video because that's one of the things you have to worry about when you're doing this kind of stuff. We're right by O'Hare, and so you know, there's lots of flights and things that are flying in and out of O'Hare. So so I had to go on to AirMap and get access from traffic control to fly my drone for this job. So luckily for me, you know, I do this all the time. So all my information's in the app. You know, I just input that, hey, I'm gonna be flying here for 15 minutes or so. I'm not gonna go above 100 feet because that's the flight ceiling around here due to the proximity to the airport. So, you know, we don't want to be interfering with manned flights landing in and out of O'Hare. So I'm going to get in the air. I have the drone in the air, obviously. I'm going to get the shots that I need to get, you know, in the next 15 minutes. And, you know, we have a nice legal flight, you know, which is awesome. I mean, you know, clients want to know that you're doing everything by the book. And I very much take pride in my work and, you know, having taking all the necessary steps to, you know, stay within the law and do everything on the up and up is something that I definitely value, and I believe my clients do as well. So. So yeah, so that's this location is pretty good. We did about a whole battery. The nice thing about this is that since we weren't going really high and really far, we didn't use a whole bunch of battery because the drone was kind of, you're not working it as much. So we have 40% left. I'm gonna bring the drone home. It's flying right here out the window, so it isn't that far, but I'm gonna land it and then we're gonna go to our next location. All right, so just got to the last location. This is a medium-sized plaza, and we're just gonna get some more shots that we've been getting all day. This location is not by the airport, so there's no interference with any kind of, you know, airspace or anything like that. So we're free to go and fly how we want. So let's put the bird in the air and get that done. So we got the battery in because we put it in already. So all we got to do is grab the drone and put it in the air. All right, it's pretty cold, so we're gonna get in the car. So that guy. All right, so that guy, that's a perfect situation of what you have to deal with when you're a drone pilot. You know, not everybody knows the rules. They might think that you're up to bad things. So that guy came over to find out what I was doing. And, you know, I just politely said, hey, they're selling the building. I'm here to photograph the building. Here's my card. And, you know, everything's cool. But, you know, with all the shit that's going on in the world right now, people are not, you know, they're afraid of drones. So if you do this for a living, you have to kind of be the liaison for all of us. You know, you don't want to be a dick because you want people to be cool with us doing our job. So this is a perfect, you know, perfect way to showcase some of the stuff that we deal with as drone pilots. I deal with it with police officers, deal with it with the general public. You know, there are police officers that don't know the rules. So like if I'm flying downtown, they will tell you to leave, even though I'm allowed to fly there, they will tell us to leave. And I don't really want to argue with them, even though I should argue with them, but I don't. So I just leave most of the time, come back at a later time when they're not around. But yeah, you know, you're going to deal with people who don't know the laws or are afraid of what you're doing, and just be cool and explain to them what you're doing, have a card with you, and, you know, everything's cool. All right. So now that I'm done shooting all 4 properties, I'm only halfway done with this job because I have to go home and, edit all these images. I don't like to deliver any files to clients without giving them just at least an initial polish. Most of the time, you know, if you're doing professional work, you're shooting in RAW, and all of those files need to have some sort of work done to them. You know, usually they need to be sharpened. They usually need to have some contrast added, you know, color correction, that kind of thing. And you know, if you're a professional and you're charging to do this kind of stuff, you need to be, you know, delivering a finished product to an extent. I mean, you know, certainly if a client wants, you know, advanced retouching, that's not included in the initial shoot. But again, like if you're a commercial photographer, you should be delivering images that are at least polished past RAW. All right, so we're done flying. We're done shooting all 4 properties. That's kind of what it is to be a drone photographer when you're shooting commercial real estate. I'm gonna head back to the studio, edit some pictures. We'll catch you next time. Peace.